of Jesus, we thank you and we bless you for this day. We thank you and we bless you for your word. Thank you for what you are teaching us in these morning classes and what you are teaching us even in the main service. Thank you for choosing to just give us the wisdom of God and the wisdom also of man, that we can walk together and come up with that which is necessary for life and godliness. We are so thankful. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yeah. So last week we were talking about saving, forming a savings habit. Muko na hiyo habit, ama mmeanza kujicalculate how you will form the habit. It is necessary. So when I left here, as I was going home, I realized, but I have to teach them how to choose where to save. Very important. Because there's a place where you can put your money and all of it dwindles away. Or you put your money and all of it is lost. Sindio? So we don't want to put our money where it will be lost. We don't want to put our money where it will dwindle away. We want to, number one, set goals, to know what we are saving for, and then save in the right place. Right? So we said when it comes to savings, you need a goal. And I would say have a long-term plan. Please consider this as a long-term kind of thing. Don't be in a hurry. Just make it a long-term kind of thing, because then you are able to plan a journey for your money that will be lasting, something that will leave a legacy for you. So if you don't have a plan for your money, can I say this? If you don't have a plan for your money, other people will have a plan for your money. Do you know that? If you're overly generous, you're the person that everybody knows they can run to at any time for money. It is because you have shown them you have no use for your money, so your money is always available for them. There are people don't ask for money. Unajuanga huyo, their money is tied up. If you ask them, they'll tell you, Indio niko nayo, I don't have any more. But there's somebody who, even if you need 50K, if you go to that person, because their money is always free. Free money. People know that's the person to ask. So everybody out here will dub you as being generous. The problem is, when your money finally shares, they will not come to your rescue. Do you know that? Please, so many na wengine, don't insist on going through the motions and then your own life teaches you a very painful lesson. Have you heard of those people who educated their brothers and sisters, usually firstborns, Usually firstborns, especially in our father's era. They would say, he educated himself. He had to struggle to educate himself. Then he educated his younger siblings, Sindio. Then he's taking care of his mother. His siblings got married and had children. Now he's educating his siblings' children. And then when he retires into poverty. And when he retires into poverty, the same people he took time to educate, both brothers and sisters and their children, are the same ones who will be telling him, kwani wewe ulikuwa mjinga aje? Hii time yote hukujiwekea kakitu. All these years you have worked. You didn't save anything for yourself. The people who are eating your money will ask you those questions, and they'll feel nothing about it. So you have to know that you're the one who controls how much of your money you keep. If you allow eaters to come and eat it, in the end they will ask you, why didn't you take care of yourself? And you will have no answer. Sindio? So let's start with Ecclesiastes 5:11 in the NLT. So that you know that the more money you make, look at that scripture. The more you have, the more people come to help you spend it. It's biblical. The more you have, the more people come to help you spend it. So what good is wealth, except perhaps to watch it slip through your fingers? Your money is not for watching it slip through your fingers. Because if you don't put the stopper, you're the one to put the stopper for yourself. If you don't put the stopper, nakwambia mashida ishangi. Your mother will always come up with a new thing. And after you have helped your mother, she will tell you, oh yes, you help your brother. See, you help your niece. See, you help and I'm not saying don't help them. I'm saying help them with wisdom. Take care of you. Then take care of them. I've always given you an example of an airplane. Sindio, when you enter those planes and you're about to fly, they begin to give you the safety talk. And the first thing they tell you is that if the cabin pressure drops in the plane, the oxygen mask will drop. When it drops, put on your own oxygen mask first, then help others. Why? Because if you don't put yours first, you can be fainting as you are trying to help other people. You can actually die trying to help others instead of first saving yourself so that you're in good mind to help others. Some of you think you're helping your family by giving them handouts consistently. You will do better to save money, invest it, create wealth, then show them how to do the same for themselves. It's a better plan. So the more you have, the more people will come to help you do what? Spend it. It's up to you to say no. If you don't say no, they will eat it. And in the end, you will suffer. So I want us to look at 3 saving goals that each one of us must set for ourselves right now. Whether you are 20, 19, 30, 40, 50, however old you are, there are certain three that you must set for yourself when it comes to money. Remember our guiding principle. I want us always to remember this guiding principle. Give me Proverbs 21:20. This should be your guiding principle, always. Proverbs 21:20 TLB. We all know it, that the wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. This is our guiding principle. Sindio? Always. Aya. So the goals you are working on, number 1, and this is where you begin with saving, you must begin by saving an emergency fund. Please write it down as your number 1 goal. Like when you start saving now, you are not saving to invest yet. You are saving first for your emergency fund. We said this is the money you dip into when you have a real emergency. I like saying real emergency because school fees is not an emergency. Siniseme tu kweli. School fees, you prepare yourself in advance, save over the 3 months, or in fact 4 months while the children are at school, sindio? So right now, January, February, March, April, we should have saved for second term. Second time you save, what is it? April, you save May, June, July, August. You pay in September when they are going in. This is all a matter of planning. Only planning. Sindio? So we are talking about a real emergency. Kitu you are not expecting, imekukuta. Right? And when you dip into it for your real emergency, make sure to immediately replenish it. You have to replenish it because some people withdraw and then forget to replenish. You have to grow this fund to about $1,000, which is about 130,000 Kenya shillings. Somebody is like, whoa. How do we eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So don't be intimidated by figures. Even if you are saving it 100 bob, at a time. See, you will still get there. Yeah, so that's where you start. And then over time, you will continue to grow that fund as the amount, of course, earns interest and continues to grow. But the goal is to make sure that you have at least 6 months worth of bills. You know all the money you use. If you sit down, some of you may not know how much you spend in a month. Please do that study. Go and just track yourself for a month. Figure out how much you use in your house for a month or for your life for a month. Once you have figured out that figure, save up 6 months worth of that, right? That's the long-term goal. But initially, the minimum is at least that $1,000. Having that set aside will stop you from borrowing when you're in an emergency. Sindio, will stop you from struggling when you need help the most. So you actually have a place you can go in, pick out, spend, and return. The next goal you must set is a goal to save for investments. This is critical for each one of us. You know, there's a time Dindi Nyoro was always on the news. And they were saying that he's the single largest shareholder for KPLC as an individual by himself. And the shares that he had were worth around 29 million. And when people are asking him, my goodness, how did you get to be among the greatest single shareholder of KPLC? He said, I've been doing this since my campus days. So since he was in campus, he would hustle and buy shares. He would get some pocket money and buy shares. You see, he got into that habit. So somebody like Ndindi Nyoro in himself was already a wealthy man, even by the time he's coming into politics, because he started as a young man. And shares can be bought even for 1,000 bob. Sindio, shares can be bought even for 5K. So you have to think of yourself as an investor and begin to invest. And of course, do the studying. Don't be a speculator. A speculator is somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. They're practically gambling with the NSE. If you're gambling with the NSE, you won't make it. It needs you to understand what you're doing. So you have the internet. Instead of scrolling, get on YouTube and look for how to pick shares, how to pick a good share, how to pick good stocks. You can learn from the internet. So we said we don't like lazy investors. I like to say that. We don't want lazy investors. Higher. So what you're creating by saving to invest is an investment pool. And when money goes into your investment pool, it doesn't come out. Right? When money goes into your investment pool, it doesn't come out. That means if you go and buy shares today for 10,000 for Safaricom, when you remove that, if you decide to sell your shares in Safaricom, you're not removing that money to eat. You're not removing that money to pay school fees. You're not removing that money to go on holiday. If you remove that money, you're removing it to reinvest it somewhere else so that you can create wealth. This is how wealth creation comes about. That you're not eating the money in your investment pool, you are growing that money continually. Right? So you buy assets, not liabilities that look like assets. Very important. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Very simple description, very simple thing to understand. So anything you set up, even a business that you set up that is just taking money out of your pocket, it's not an asset until it starts putting money into your pocket. Right? And we know that businesses take a long time to break even, so you have to be ready for that and have the cash flow for that, or else the business will shut down before it ever begins. Sindio? So it's important for you to know you're buying assets, not liability. So when an asset is paying you, how does it pay? It pays in dividends. That's why we take shares, because they'll pay dividends. Sindio? It pays in interest, that you have put your money somewhere and you're getting interest for it. And it also pays in capital gains, which means that the principle itself, the particular product itself gains value. So if I buy land, I'm hoping for capital gains. Sindio? That the land will grow in value. If I buy Safaricom shares, I've told you when they were selling Safaricom shares initially, I think they were like 5 bob, 1 share. Right now they are what? I can't remember, but they are up there somewhere, maybe 60 or so. If that is where they are, the capital gains on that is like 55 bob, but you're still getting dividends on the share. You understand? So, capital gains, interest, dividends, all of that. And when you get your dividends, you don't pick a sherehe. You reinvest because this is part of your investment pool. Hii pesa ikulangwi, hii ni yaku. Continually growing it. So you reinvest your interest, you reinvest your dividends. If you sell something and there was capital gains, you reinvest. I think one of the things that my mother taught us, and I think all Kikuyus have this one. Have you ever had that pesa ya shamba inanunuanga shamba ingine? Huwezi uza shamba na usinunue shamba ingine. Afadhali ununue shamba of lesser value, ubakishe pesa, lakini lazima pesa ya shamba inunue shamba. That's a Kikuyu financial principle for those who are on this side of our nini. So when you are talking about money for investment or saving for investment, what you are doing now is building a legacy. Because you may have been born into a family that is poor. You didn't choose where you were born, isn't it? Nobody chose. You may have been born into a family that is poor, but you must not leave a poor family. When you die, you cannot also leave a poor family. You must make sure that the people you are leaving behind are a wealthy family. You have started a wealthy generation. The only way to finish the endemic poverty of Africa is if we decide we are not going to be poor. And we are not going to leave poor generations. And we are not going to do this black tax thing of me, I've educated my children, now I'm sitting down waiting for them to educate me, to take care of me in my old age. In the meantime, ile pesa nimeana bonda tu raha, waiting for them to take care of me at some point. No, because that's not scriptural. That's not how it's supposed to be. Proverbs 13:22, we all know this one. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. So what are you doing when you're working on your investments and your investment pool? You buy stocks here. You buy shares there. You buy a piece of land here. You build real estate on this side. You take the money from that real estate. You use it on this other side. Building more. What are you doing? You are creating that generational wealth that you can now leave an inheritance to your children's children. All of it only takes planning. And one of the things you have to remember, have you seen this snowball theory? That when a snowball starts to roll, it can start a very small ball, but by the time it gets to the bottom of the mountain, it's a huge boulder. Sindio? Why? Because when you start, and this is what I'm teaching you now, that if you start saving now, slowly, buying a few shares here, you wait, your money gets, you save, unafikisha kiwango flani, you buy bonds, you buy bills, you do this, you do that. By the time you are moving here 5 years from now, your snowball will be bigger because God will begin to entrust more money to you. So it's only now that you have to prove faithfulness, because the Bible says what? That if you are faithful with a little, then you will be made Lord over much. So in the days of little, you have to prove faithfulness. You have to keep doing it slowly, day by day. But as you go, God begins to throw more at you. More money locates you. You are now able even per month to save 100K. You are able to save 200K per month. But right now when you're starting, you may only be able to save a few hundred or 1,000. And it's okay. Sindio? But the snowball will pick up as it moves forward. So you have to think of saving for investment. Also think of saving for retirement. And retirement is now. Like you're not thinking of saving for retirement 25 years from today. If you are 20, start saving for retirement. Hallelujah. Or you are planning to die early. We are not planning to die early, Sindio. We are going to die old. So this is the money that will be your monthly stipend at that time. Because even though you will have many assets, there's nothing wrong with having an extra income where every month they are paying me money that I had put away. And it has grown because it grows with compound interest, so it will multiply greatly. Some of you, depending on your age, if you just start saving a month to your 1,000 bob a month to your retirement, you can finish with millions. Just because of the power of compound interest and time. Compound interest plus time. Because if you're 20 and you're retiring at 65, or you're withdrawing at 65, you've got 45 years for money to be compounding while you're putting in a little, isn't it? By the time that time comes, you're a millionaire with ease. Sindio, if you are 30, you might need to do a little more. If you're 40, do more than the 30-year-old. Hallelujah. Just keep adding based on age, because time for you is shorter, isn't it? But I don't think there's anybody here who is 50. But even if you are 50 and you are retiring at 65, you still have 15 years. In that 15 years, what can you do? Whatever you can do is worth it. Sindio? So nobody should say, me, I'm not starting. No, go and look for a pension fund and invest. Start putting away money for your retirement. Stop thinking, niliwaambia Gen Z na Gen Alpha, nyinyi hata wenyu wako kwa magoti bado, hata mjui wataitwa Gen nini, hao hawatawasaidia. No, they are like, why didn't you take care of yourself, ma'am? Why didn't you save? Why didn't you? They'll be asking you those questions, and those will be valid questions. They'll be very valid questions. So you have to do it for yourself and stop thinking that your children will do it for you. Ecclesiastes 11:2. Invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. What is he saying? Diversify your options. Diversify your portfolio. Yes, I know you're going to do a few things here and there, and Please don't think I will keep chicken in my retirement. You know how wamama wa siku hizi wa kitambo walikuanga wana retire na kuku. Alafu zote zinakufa. Because hata ajui anafanya nini. So when they buy those tushuis and it's cold like this, one day they wake up, they find all of them dead. They're like, woo, retirement yote imeisha. Don't be those people. Start now, invest in different ventures, diversify, because one may work or another may work. Sindio? Aya. So how do you choose a savings vehicle? How do you know where to put your money? Number one is you must save where your principal is safe. I know we have done this before. Let's do it again. We all learn by repetition. You must save where your principal is safe. The principal is the money you have actually labored for. Unaona ile umefanyia kazi. That you have gone to work, you have labored, you have been paid, you have saved. That money, you must never lose that money. Because that is your blood, sweat, and tears. Hakuna mtu amekupea hiyo. That one you must guard it with your life. The money that is your savings must be guarded. What does that mean? It means don't get into get-rich-quick schemes. Ukiona unauliza hii pesa nitaweka wapi inakuchoma hivi. So you put it wherever and then you lose it. Don't save it chama za mama zingine hapo. You don't know each other. Mmesema tunafungua chama, mtu anachukua pesa yenu anatoroka, story inaishia hapo. Tena umechoma. Mwingine ameweka chini ya mattress ama kwa kale mnaitanga kaful, nyumba imechomeka, pesa imechomeka. Like put your money in a good place and secure it. You don't want to put your money where you can lose it. Right? Very, very important to make sure where your money is, it remains safe. That also speaks to investing in places where there's a regulatory authority. Right? So if you invest, for example, with a SACCO, make sure it's a registered SACCO. Si SACCO ya Kinyanjui. Na Kinyanjui mwenyewe hakuregister SACCO, aliita SACCO tu. Na wewe ukaenda hapo ukaekeza pesa. Kinyanjui takes a nosedive with your money, finished. Don't put it in somebody who calls themselves a pension fund, but they have not registered themselves with the Retirement Benefits Authority. Make sure they're registered, right? Any investment you put your money in, is it an investment that is regulated by the Capital Markets Authority? Make sure you put it where the Capital Markets Authority is regulating your money. That way you have at least a way of at least even hoping you can recoup the money if anything should happen. But if you just, mtu anajiita financial advisor, unaenda unapeana hapo pesa. Ati ameongea vizuri, amekuonyesha the way their market works, the way they are funders and they are fund managers and they do very well. Okay, is your fund management company registered? Does the government know you are operating? Ama mtu alikuja akaongea vizuri akabeba pesa and every month unamuongezea. Then one day you wake up and there was nothing. It was fake news. And Kenyans can fake it, I'm telling you, for many years. So you have to be very careful to do your due diligence wherever you're putting your money. Number two, look, of course, for a place where the interest rates are higher. Look for where the interest rates are higher. Of course, if you put your money in the bank and they give you 2.5% or 3%, wherever you are in trouble. You must look for a place where they'll give you more. So always look for a place where the interest rates will be higher. And don't forget that the bank will take your money. I keep telling you, when you put money in a bank, it's just a ledger. Sindio, that is why they even limit how much you can withdraw per day. Because it's just a ledger. When you give them your money, they take your money and they go and reinvest it elsewhere. So they're making, managing portfolios plus international portfolios where they're earning even 20, 22% interest on that portfolio. Then they come and give you 2.5%. Banks ya mama yako bwana. They're not there to make you rich. Please always remember that. The bank is not there to make you rich. The SACCO is not there to make you rich. The fund is not there to make you rich. They are not there for you. You have to take care of you. They are there to make themselves rich. Haven't you ever asked yourself why? It doesn't matter how bad things are. Even when they are saying Kenya kumekauka ni kubaya kabisa, economy iko chini, flat. The bank will still make billions. will still report billions in profits. Isn't it? Yeah, because you're giving them your money every month and they're reinvesting it. And then they give you 2 shillings. And you think you are doing very well. No, the bank is only for kupitisha salary. Unaona kupitisha salary? Na kupitisha doing current things. That's the only reason it's there, just for facilitating transactions. Don't let the bank be the place where you keep your money. You'll be shocked. Very, very shocked. So you're looking for a place with higher interest. Number 3, look for compound interest. Compound interest. Remember, there are 2 types of interest. There's simple interest and compound interest. You didn't know you were coming for commerce class again. Mulifikiria commerce muliacha huko high school. Tumewa kufikia sasa. Simple interest is interest that is paid once, right? Once on the principal. Usually, interest is per annum, so it's per year. So if, for example, you have 100,000, that whole 100,000, if it stays in the bank for a year, you're only going to get, if they give you 3%, for example, you will only get 3,000 shillings on your 100,000. Doesn't that feel like robbery? So unasikia kama umeibiwa. They've only given you 3,000. But you go to the bank and say, zimeongezeka. Nangiri tatu, hallelujah. Wrong. You are celebrating the wrong thing. Put it somewhere where you can get compound interest. Because on compound interest, then the interest will also get interest. And preferably put it where they compound more often than once a year. There are people who compound daily. So the interest you make today, by tomorrow it starts making interest. That will grow faster than if you put in a place where it's compounded annually. In fact, I don't think anybody is compounding annually anymore unless they're sick somewhere. Sick. Right? Some are compounding weekly. Some are compounding monthly. But the one who compounds monthly has stolen 30 days here katikati. Sindio? So you're looking for somebody who compounds daily. Daily. If you can find somebody who compounds daily, the better for you. Number 4, find an interest rate that is above inflation. An interest rate that is above inflation. They keep saying our inflation rate is going down, mi sioni. Hakuna kitu imechange, so sijui vile hiyo inflation imereduce. But they're saying now, our current inflation rate is 3.8%. Actually 3.74. But let's call it 3.8. And you can find these inflation rates on the CBK. Just type on your Google, hapo, CBK inflation rates, Kenya. And it will just pop up and show you what the inflation rate is. If you're getting interest that is below inflation rate, unaibiwa, because the purchasing power of your money is reducing by that percentage. Sindio? So that's what they're telling us. That if I have 100,000 today, by the end of the year, it won't be worth 100,000. It will be minus 3,800. Sindio? So if imagine inflation eating into your money over years, and the interest rate you're getting is 2.5. So number 1, already you're not getting enough, but then the interest rate is less than your inflation rate, which means you are actually losing money, not earning. Even though the bank will tell you, we've given you interest, when you get that money, the purchasing power will be so low that you will find your 1,000 doesn't buy much. So you have to make sure you're looking at a place where the inflation rate is less than the interest. And the inflation rate tends to shift. Sometimes it can be as high as almost 8%. There's a time it was 8%. Kama saa hivi le tunaelekea elections, itaenda inaweza fikisha karibu 10%. But those are the times to make sure that where you've invested, you're at least getting at par with that inflation rate, so that usiishe tena. You don't want to do that. Number 5, find a place where you can top up anytime and in small denominations. We're talking about the convenience of topping up your investment or your savings. So initially, when you're looking for where to save your money, if you're saving in small denominations, you will find that the people who offer you may not be able to give you daily compounding. things like that. So you have to choose. But if you have a lot of money, you get better deals. You're able to put your money in a better place. But me, I encourage you initially, don't even be so worried about are they compounding daily or not. Look for a place that can accept whatever it is you're able to put in. Right? So there are places like Nabo Capital where you enter in with 250,000. That's the entry point. So already they have selected their clientele. You may not be in that clientele. And then their top-up is 100,000. You see? Then there are others who you enter in with 5K and you top up with 2,000, 2,500 or even 5K. May not still be you. There are others who can tell you, fungwe fungua, wekaga tu pesa. Ata so, tutachukua, ata so. So you can top up 100, 1,000, depending on how much money you have. So you are the one now to go and do your research and then decide, where will I put my money based on my particular situation? Right? My particular situation. If you try now to compete with people who are topping up 100,000, na wewe uko hapo kwa kutopa up 100,000, why are you making yourself suffer? Sindio? So you have to cut your cloth according to size. Look at a place that allows you to, send money via M-Pesa, deposit via M-Pesa, that allows you to save even in small denominations so that you are able to do what is necessary for yourself. The point is to begin. I think I have belabored that one, so I won't go there. Always think of starting at your level. The one thing you must never do is sit down and say, mimi siwezi fanya hivyo. I'm not cut out for this because it seems to be for rich people. What do rich people look like? They look like you. Ama, who do they look like? See, they look like you. Rich people look like you. So you sit down and you say, I am that rich person. I will find the solution for me. The one that will accommodate me is the one I will locate. So once you locate that one, put your money there. Number 6, save where your money is not locked. If it's for investment, save where it is not locked. If you put money in a circle and you lock it there, if you need to withdraw it, it is an impossibility. Sindio? So that won't work for you. You have to think about it. Somebody was cracking me up. They were telling me how this person went and saved in a circle, which me, I'm not for circles at all, ever, ever. But anyway, he goes and saves in a circle. When he saves his money in this circle, he had been told you only need guarantors to get a loan. Because if you're saving in a circle, labda ikuwe ni loan unataka. So anyway, he goes there to get a loan. And he says, I have guarantors. And they tell him, we know you have guarantors, but vile watu wametuonesha huku nje, you still need collateral. So enda utafute logbook, ama utafute, can you imagine? And now you have been putting your money there thinking they will give you 3 times. To his shock. Yeah. So try and put your money where you can access it. If you lock it in a circle, removing it from there, ni bala tupu. You know? An insurance policy is another place where if you lock it, you might struggle. Use insurance for insurance. I like to say that. Use insurance for insurance. Don't use it for savings because it was never meant to be a savings plan. If you sit down and work out those things they tell you, ukiweka pesa hapa, by the end of this time utatoa pesa inatoshana hivi, you'll be shocked to realize it was just your money anyway. They add very little to it. Me, I did it. I sat down, I did the calculations. I was thinking of working for Jubilee. Nikaona hiyo uongo itakuwa mingi. Wacha nisidanganya watu wa Mungu. Ilinishinda. But the results are they're cruel and hard because it's not much. And then, if you're not able to keep up with your premiums, so you know what happens? You lose your money, or if you're able to withdraw, you will only withdraw a small portion. So you see, it's meant to make the insurance company rich, not you. So nimewambia hivyo. So wherever you go, you are going to look for a win-win for you and for them. Both of you must win. But don't make it so that wewe unaibiwa ukiona. So don't do that. Don't put money in lockable places like the circle. Don't put money in like insurance policy where they've locked it up. You have to keep giving premium whether you like it or not because you don't want to lose your money. If you lose your job, your pesa imepotea. And you know they won't understand you lost your job. Me, that's one thing I don't get it. It's like they don't know life happens. And they're the ones who are the insurance of life happening. It's very bad. So be careful with that. Don't lock your money in certain places. Number 7, go for a place where they don't have withdrawal penalties. Withdrawal penalties. If you put money in a fixed deposit and you withdraw before time, there will be a penalty. If you buy an insurance policy and you withdraw before time, there will be a penalty. So look for a place where you can withdraw your money at, with ease, the day you want to withdraw. If, for example, I'm saving, I want to get to a particular amount so that now I can withdraw and go buy bonds, I don't want to have a penalty for withdrawing my own money. Sindio, it doesn't make sense. So make sure wherever you are, you've asked them. And these are the questions to ask. Do you offer, when you go, by the way, when you're shopping for a place to save, you are shopping for a place to save your money. You are shopping. Identify several. Go see several people. Ask them these questions. What do you offer in terms of interest? Is it simple interest or compound interest? How often do you compound? I'm telling you how to shop for an investment vehicle right now. How often do you compound? Are there withdrawal penalties? What are your withdrawal charges? You see these things I'm teaching you? This is how you shop. You ask them these questions. They don't just tell you, tunafanya hivi, tunafanya hivi, tunafanya hivi, and then they have not answered questions they have written in fine print, and that fine print, nobody can read it. Unless we come with a magnifying glass for the sake of your eyes. Nobody can read that fine print. And then they'll tell you, when the day you go, they'll tell you it was here in the fine print. Sindio, you're the one who didn't read it. So ask the pertinent questions yourself. Ask about even penalties for withdrawal. Do you have penalties for withdrawal? Very good question to ask. Number 8, find out if there are penalties for not depositing regularly. For not depositing regularly. There are some people who will say you have to deposit every month without fail. If you fail to deposit monthly, there is a penalty. I think circles are the same way. Sindio, I remember there was a circle I was part of, but when I discovered all these things, I stopped putting money in it. And so now I just eat the interest as I'm figuring out how to come out, because group things nazo ni bala. But they sent us a message and they said, every month you don't deposit, they'll cut 100 bob from your shares. Penalties for not depositing. So make sure that the people you are saving with, there are no penalties for what? For not depositing regularly. Because what happens the day you don't have it to deposit that month? Sindio, can be a bit crazy. Higher. Number 9, ask about fund management fees. Fund management fees. So some places, like a money market fund, some of them have fund management fees. Find out what is that cost. What does it look like? What is the cost of this fund management? Find out the cost of withdrawals. How much do you charge to withdraw? If you don't find out that, you can umia sana, because you'll be withdrawing as if it's the bank. And then you discover every time you withdraw is 100 bob. Allah. Sindio. So make sure you know what are the fund management fees. How much do you cut for that? It's usually a percentage, 1%, 2%, right? And find out if there are any withdrawal charges, etc. Please note that if you're dealing with anything to do with government or funds, there's a 15% withholding tax on interest. On interest. 15% withholding. So you have to calculate that. So if you save 100,000 and they give you 10% per annum, so you earn 10,000 at the end of that year, that 10,000, they will charge 15% on it. So 1,500 will be taken by the government as tax. So you have to know all these two things because they mess with you. Number 10, which is the final one, look for ease of transaction. Ease of transaction. A place where you can open an account online, you can save your money via M-Pesa, you can withdraw online. Si yenye lazima ujibebe, ujikokote, ujipeleke huko na kitabu fund au kitabu ya bank. Hiyo ni sako tu. Na iko nyama kema kuisha ama kamkunji ndani. So you have to carry yourself there anytime you need money. Or you need to put money in. You will never save because it's so inconveniencing. Sindio? So you look for ease of transaction, a place you can open online, you can go there, you can save with ease. Whatever you need to do, the transactions can be done with ease. You're always looking for ease. And if somebody is not, please, if they have not modified their lives, those ones will just make you suffer. If you have to go with the book, wakusainie, wakufanyie, those ones will make you suffer. There's no point. Alafu, know yourself. Maybe we should have started with this. Know yourself. If you're not able to save for yourself, like if you're not able to save diligently, please put together accountability structures to help you. I think that one kwanza ndio kubwa kabisa. Because most people, it's just that you know, unajijua. Ukishika pesa utaziblow. So as soon as you get it, ule mtu wako accountability. Just be sure that somebody is checking on you to make sure, have you saved? Have you done? Are you doing? If you're the people who withdraw very easily, look for a place that has no convenience. You understand? Look for a place with no convenience because you're the person who, if you have convenience, ukikosa shilingi mbili unaingia kwa pesa yako unatoa ile savings. Kama huyo ni wewe na unajijua. Look for a place where your money will be locked soundly. Locked until even you know you're sweating bullets to try and get money out. Just know yourself. That's the most important thing. But also, develop discipline. Sindio? Also develop discipline. So for me, I've always said this, the accounts that work for me when it comes to savings is a money market fund. That is what works for me and for most people. Because a money market fund it was all those things we've talked about, it will take care of. Sindio, it will take care of. So it is better you find a good money market fund that you can put your money in. I always say I don't like to tell people which one to put their money in because I don't know what their needs are. Sindio, but at the same time I like to say don't be a lazy investor. Go to the CBK website. Sindio, CBK being Central Bank of Kenya. And look, start there. That's where you start. Central Bank of Kenya, look for authorized money market funds. They'll drop a list. Start working your way. Do your own research on them so that you figure out what works for you and put your money in the bank. Kutalia tu bure. Because they won't give you your worth. And then if you know some of them have been mentioned that money disappears from their account. Wakiona pesa ina increase. Ukienda kuangalia unakuta hakuna. See, there was a bank that fired a whole bunch of people. Yeah, so you cannot do that. And then make sure that wherever you're investing, and this is why I go to CBK, because all those MMFs you will find on the CBK list have been registered with the Capital Markets Authority. Anybody who's not there, don't play with them, because if anything should happen to your money, you have nobody to fight for you. Because they weren't registered. Why did you hang out with people like that? Same for retirement or pension funds. And the same people who give MMF are the ones who give pension funds, by the way. But just because they have a good MMF doesn't mean they have a good pension. So you still have to go back and do your research on pension funds as well. But every pension fund that is listed will be listed there on the CBK website, should be governed by the Retirement Benefits Authority. If they are not registered with retirement benefits, guachana nae, stop throwing away your money. Is unnecessary. It's unnecessary for you to throw away your money. Does anybody have a question? Anybody on anything, whether it is savings, okay, savings related, not anything Like you might even ask me, tulikula nini jana usiku? Hatukukula. Haya. Mimi sikukula, ndio kweli. Haya. Give me any questions, anybody, related to saving, maybe even to investing, and to putting together a savings vehicle or selecting a savings vehicle. Uko na question, Diana? Ebu give her a microphone, tumski. Thank you, Pastor Sonny. Yes, even a comment is welcome.
It's not a question per se.
Tunakusikia.
It's not a question per se. It's just that whatever the prophet is talking about, it's so practical. And it has happened to us on a negative way. Like there's a circle my husband was investing on. Actually, alikuwa staff huko. And he had saved quite some money. So juzi we were stuck. Nikamwambia sasa najuliacha pesa huko. And he had been continuing to save, uliacha pesa huko. Why can't you go for your money? And then when he went there, so when you're told, ask them, ukitaka withdraw, what happens?
Yes.
So he went, and he was told, one, there are people you signed for.
Yes, you have to wait.
I have no issue, because I know the people that have signed for, ni wangapi hawajamaliza. They are like 2 people. Okay, wamebakisha pesa ngapi? Some little money. But then give me the rest. Wakimaliza kulipa, will come for the money, for the rest of the money. And I'm okay, just a form, then come after 6 months.
6 months. Hiyo itakusaidia aje? Mmeniondolea maji, mmesema nikae hivyo. Newega. Sips water.
6 months. Ana hiyo pesa ni ya nini? Do you need it?
By the time it comes, mulisort issue.
So, akaenda tena. Then, option B, nipatieni loan. Give me a loan, and I don't think I would need guarantors because I'm taking a loan against
my shares. Yes.
Yeah? So you give me
they won't.
Sawa. Actually, tutakupea a loan ikiwa na mpaka wenye hawajalipa, we will consider all the money, all your savings. Nikamuliza, ebu uliza interest rate 16% on my money.
Yes. That's why I always say, by the way, that's the thing with SACCOs. You will borrow money, even if you're borrowing against your shares, meaning you have saved 100K and you want 100K, they will still charge you interest for your own money. Even when they tell you we are giving you 3 times your money, no, it's your money plus 2 extra times. Hiyo moja ni yako, na bado utailipia. That is why I'm telling you, nobody is making money. Nobody is trying to make you rich. They're trying to make themselves rich. So if you don't take care of you, nobody is taking care of you. Sindio? Nobody is taking care of you.
Another one. In our workplace, I don't know if you saw this, sijui ilikuwa inajiita DDB.
Ilikuwa gani hatu kuiona hiyo?
It was a DDB. They were saying it's a wealth-making platform. Kila mtu akaingia.
Ni kama Saybex.
Beware of rich quick schemes. Wanaambia nini? Tutakuwa tumerudisha pesa yetu. The initial deposit 8K. Acha wawekele 22,000. There's somebody who took a loan akaekelea 100K. Wanaambia stop. Wakaambia hata tumeenda na tukafungua ofisi. They went and partied that day. Walifungua ofisi huko. Actually, one of our staff aliacha kazi. Akaenda kuajiriwa huko.
My God.
So we tried to talk to them. We want to, another guy and me, we tried to read the Bible. Even the Bible is telling you, avoid this rich quick stick. And then I was like, okay, where are they getting money to give you this money? Ambia bana, unajua wameinvest, and then how do you earn this money? Sijui unaamka saa 10 ya usiku, sijui you do a task, you're given a task, and then money is credited to you. Waka withdraw mara kadhaa mpaka it was, ama ni sisi hatuelewi.
They always do that to catch you.
When there was a holiday that was on a Friday. Which one was it? Was it too? And they used to withdraw every Friday. Wakaambiwa saa hii Friday hatuta withdraw juu kuna holiday. Tuta withdraw hiyo Friday ingine. Hiyo Friday ingine wakaambiwa hapana, sijui tuna file returns. Haya, hiyo ingine there was no platform, there was no nothing. Pesa imeenda hakuna mtu, ofisi imeisha, the lady is back to our office.
We.
Akiuliza kama atapata job tena.
Oa. Hiyo ni ile ilimerukio na shosho wake amerukia. Imeenda.
That is how bad huku nje iko.
Huku nje ni mbaya.
You've been told be diligent with the vehicle that you choose.
Yes.
Be diligent.
Yes. Wow. Anybody else? Mko na tu experience huku nje ama nyinyi mko you are still waiting for experience to locate you. We, mumesikia? By the way, there's another one that was online being called sijui Cybex. And people were putting money, and it was a Nigerian thing. You put money, and you know all it is. I've told you, it's just a computer counting. So you go there, you see wamekuad interest. There's an algorithm. You're like, hey, pesa yangu ina grow. Hakuna kitu ina grow. Ni numbers on a screen, sawa? So people are seeing numbers multiplying on the screen. They're like, pesa yangu, pesa yangu. One day they woke up. No platform, nobody, no nothing. Eh? Pesa gone. So be careful. Go slow. The slower you are, the better. Because then you have opportunity to choose and to choose wisely. Ask the relevant questions. Sindio? Ask the relevant questions. Make sure you ask them. Check everything. You know? Just check everything. And just be happy to go slow. Ile kitu that does people in is that you want to rush. You are here for the next, how old are you now? Yeah, add to those who are many years, add another 60. You're going to be here forever. That's a long time. Eh? It's a long time. I tell people, if you die at the age of 100, hiyo ni miaka ngapi kutoka saa hii? Si basi tu uanze alafu uende slow but steady. Si ndio? Lakini kuanza ni leo. See when you are 50, kuanza ni leo. And then you go slow but steady until you make it. Don't try to do those get rich quick schemes. Don't try to look for, a cheap account out here. Don't try anybody who's telling you, Mimi, I'm a fund manager. I'm a personal fund manager. Are you registered? What do you mean you're a personal fund manager? They will take your money and disappear. And even if you try to take them to court, there will be no evidence that, even if you send them money, you see there's a transfer. See, I transferred. Anaweza sema ulimpea kitu ingine na story ishe. It wasn't for investing. Alinipea kitu ingine. So be very, very careful with those things. Because we said our hard-earned principle cannot be lost. Sindio? It cannot be lost. Aya. Mr. Zablo, welcome. Lead us in prayer.